Hi guys, it's Midnight Kitty here, and today we're playing I don't know how to pronounce this. Penumbra Overture. So, this was on cheap for Steam, and I was able to get all 3 games for cheap. It was like only $10, I think, if I recall correctly. And I'd heard about this game before. I think does it have the same creator as Amnesia? I don't know. I just know I've heard about just it and Amnesia. I'm not sure if they have the same creator or what's the deal with that, but this will be interesting. I didn't really like Amnesia, but I've heard things about Penumbra, and so when I saw it was on sale like this, I was like, sure, why not? And this is a bit of an interesting thing to record, so hopefully everything turns out okay. Easy for players here about action games. I mean, I am normal, recommended suits most players, hard for players waiting and child. I'll do normal. Most balanced mode to play in, enemies find it hard to spot you, more slow, and deal less damage. Let's try normal. And if normal kills us, then my story began in February year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for 2 things, physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Okay then, that's interesting. We're probably gonna die terribly, and everything's gonna go wrong. Hello? Where am I? Finally, I'm almost docked. I better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up using left mouse, and I can take a close look at things using right mouse. Okay, good to know, buddy. Good to know. Always good to have a notebook to jot down interesting information and reminders. Okay. I think I left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using my left mouse on it, holding the button down and moving the mouse. Okay. So it is like Amnesia. Got it. Got my torch. Flashlight switches on and off via the inventory tab, or hopefully with the shortcut F. Now, where's that emergency glow stick? Should still be in the locker. Keys in my inventory. Okay, cool. I want to look at everything else now. Certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Anything else? I can throw this. Don't know where that went. Okay. I can just swing this around if I want to. Okay. think I've got a somewhat hold on this. What's this? Extra batteries for my flashlight. Okay, cool. Could come in handy if the torch ran out of the batteries. I should be able to access it through my inventory or with the shortcut G. This should be everything I need. I want to get going before dark. Let's go. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, this is kind of hard to read, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. So cold, don't know where I am. I need to find shelter soon. My entire head went numb long ago, but I can still hear the wind. Okay, I couldn't read that. Did I run? Oh, I can run. Run, run, run. Oh, what in the hell is that? I don't care. I need shelter. It looks frozen shut. Need something to break it. I have anything in my inventory? Okay. Let's see. Rock, rock, rock. Have a rock. Okay. Oh. A rock. Okay. Nice. I hope to God it's not frozen inside as well. So weak, but I just should be able to. How do I, did I open it? Yeah, okay. I was confused for a moment there. Very confused. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? It's a creepy bunker. Barrels. Let me lift barrel. It's too heavy. Okay. Probably don't need that. Oh. I lost my way for a second for some reason. A steel rod. What's this? Can I? Okay. I've got a flare. And I almost got stuck. I think that's okay for now. It's stuck. There must be something in the way. Can I hit it with a barrel? Emergency exit. Okay. Oh, nice. Get it. Okay. I keep getting stuck in barrels. This is gonna go great. Can I ram it? No, apparently not. Oh, can I use my crowbar? My trusty middle rod. Well, it's a middle rod, but how's that gonna work? I don't know. Notebook. Oh, this way's open. Flare. Don't know what that is. Oh, hammer. Hell yeah. Let's see, I can swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right, and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too, pulling back and then thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold right mouse after the backswing, I should still be able to look around. Oh, this is how I peek through over corners, I guess. A little shelf. Guess I have to be focusing on something I can hit. Oh. Hole's been boarded a long time, the wood looks pretty soft now. I don't understand how to use this. Is controls an option? Strafe right, crouch. How about they use things? Yeah. Or do I just... I'm confused. I am so confused. How to use... Can I move this out of the way? A little shelf, I guess. Nah. Can't see anything. Okay. Oh. There's a specific place I have to look. That's weird. I crouch and get through. Apparently not. Apparently I need to do something about this middle shelf. What about that other thing? Yeah, what about this thing? I don't think I did anything. Okay. Empty box of ammunition. What is this place? Okay. Oh, I can move that. Ah, get. Thank you for that. I'm just gonna turn that off. Gotta wield this hammer for protection. Is this safe to go? Probably not. Probably shouldn't go this way. I'm just gonna get lost. Huh. I don't know what that means. Looks as though there's some kind of industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center and no way to operate it. Well, I have a steel rod, don't I? Can I use this? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting used to these controls slowly. Oh. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by two solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness. and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety knots. Emergency services at the end of the phone lines, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designated structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in the school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids. No one, anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. I jotted down a note just in case. If anyone or anything hears me, I'm best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I will know I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something is right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. Looks like a nice ideal. Don't make any noise. Like that, I'll be virtually invisible enough for some time. I should get my night vision back, provided I stay still. Is there anything I should be worried about? What's that? How long am I supposed to stay still for? What's going on? I see. Workshop. Hammer for safety. Also use this truck, at best it could be a decent hiding spot. Heavy, but it could lift. It could do a lot of damage to anything underneath it. You're concerning me. Hello? Just old paint cans shred up long ago. Box of thrusty nails. Lots of rocks. A storage crate for transporting, or I suppose there's a draft coming from the base. Can I move it? That looks bad. What's in this room? Guess I can't pick that up. Okay. Locked. Okay. Get out of the way. Fall down here. Okay. I don't like that noise at all. Oh. Looks like this basement caved in some years ago. Something's tunneled through here more recently, though. Christ, what sort of creature makes these markings? Is there spiders? Christ, was that a spider? I don't like spiders. I don't like spiders either. The hell is that? There's a ladder. I have this ladder for protection. If anything comes out, I will stab you with this ladder. So don't bother me. I will kill you. Quickly. Where did I come from? Where am I going? The hell is that? Horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else the smell would have been awful. Okay, cool. I want to go back from where I came now. From whence I came. I think it's this area. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that goes nowhere. Seeing a blister fresh from bone into this, I know I've seen it happen. Ow. What's that? If it weren't for the size of the pieces, I would say that it looks like an eggshell. That totally is an eggshell. A log of some sort. My earlier assumptions on the being nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I am concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. I have no source of light. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. And the spiders are so tasty? What does that say? If it says tasty, I'm really creeped out. Scientific findings. Doesn't say anything. Okay. This is basically my nightmares come to life. Ouch. The hell is that? Ah, ow. What did it save? Do I have to get the ladder again? Yeah. Ah. Wait, can I say no? Okay. Fine. Oh. There we go. Nice. Nice and secure. This is my friend, box person. It's just really a box that I can smash things with. I really don't like these tunnels. Or it's like, luckily it's my fighter, else the smell would have been awful. Okay, good to know. Ow. Really, I should just be wielding this. Dry dusty old bags. Okay. So flare could be any light source. I began this record still in hope that the great work we have undertaken might have one day be of scientific value. Here might one day be of scientific value. Okay. Despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous, my aim is to remain secure until what hope there may be arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meager food ration here will help me stay alive, will help keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now 30 years on, a fate has struck again. I have forecasted that today the rescue crew would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out and search for them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of my rescue. My second was to make assumptions on the safety of the mine. My third was to act on both these assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused, but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creatures, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outnumbered and outnumbered by the beast. I turned and ran, injured my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a small, disused part of the mine. The key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered the storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learnt. I will not venture out again until I'm sure the area is safe. Scientific findings 1. Okay, give me back my hammer, please. I need a hammer. Hammers are important. I don't want to die. Especially not the spiders. I think this is the one we found before. Spiders are so tasty. Okay, yeah. Yeah, creepy. From the markings I have been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an illegible skull. Today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive, and I have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For all I know, I could only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails, I am never recovered. I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with, these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there more through fluke than talent, and it appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breakthrough too insignificant, for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. Scientific findings 2. Okay. That's definitely an egg. That is 100% an egg. Okay. Hello. Finally, this must be all that's left of the basement storage. That lock looks rather worse for wear. Okay. Fluid, light, gas. Hospital gray. Don't know what those are. Is there nothing else here? Batteries. I don't really think there's anything here. Maybe I'll just have to go back for my hammer. What? Excuse me? I do not like that one bit. Looks like someone moved the ladder from these hooks with a pretty blunt saw. Well, I put it back on. So why can't I climb? Hello? Oh, I can climb. Nice. Excuse me. Someone there. I think someone's been dragged through here. I haven't seen that much blood before. That was my best chance to get some answers. Who else is still down here? This lighter wasn't empty, it'd be handy. Okay, I have lighter stuff. Oh, is that the key? Day 200. It has been some time since I recorded any findings in relation to the spiders with whom I have shared my existence with for the past 8 months, partly due to my enforced retreat from their basement territory. Not too long ago, their behavior became overly aggressive, and so I have attempted to barricade the main entrance to their lair, and secured myself within one of the smaller rooms above it, the only one with an operational door lock. The other reason is that I have been recovering from a minor operation, which I was forced to conduct myself without the aid of an anesthetic. Even if I do have any anesthetic or surgical tools, I couldn't afford to be less than diligent in my work, so anesthetic was out. Surgical tools are well and good, but although it may be becoming old and rusty, I still trust my pen and knife to do the job just as well. The procedure itself was elementary enough, a simple amputation of a non-vital organ. I began to notice a thick, glue-like substance forming on my tongue and was forced to accept that it had been infected through constant toxin digestion. Day 300. Another century of days comes and goes. It seems like so long since I escaped here. At some stage since my last entry, I attempted to return from whence I came. That from which I originally was fleeing seems a fate far worse than the one I now face. However, in the time since I arrived from the larger mine system, a cave-in has occurred, blocking any further progress. I was forced to return and accept whatever end life has in store for me. I still hear my aggressive little friend scratching on the door of my cell. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, it's a pencil. Oh, I just threw that. reports, logs, and files just left there to gather dust. There's probably a century of life and death right here at my feet. Whoa. Safe enough. The hell was that? Oh, it's his tongue. Oh. Oh. The largest spot I've ever seen with its gut carved open. Well, okay then. I'll just leave. Wasn't this the locked room? Oh. Nice. Nice. Real nice. Okay. I'll just leave. Oh god, is there something else down here? Can't just wait here for whatever's around the corner. Need to hide. Okay. Just hide right there. And don't move if you want to live. Jesus, I've never been this scared in my life. I feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I better not stare at it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me, and then I'm a goner. Okay. Look here then. Just sit here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Safe. Is it safe now? That's really not a good sound. This might not be a very good hiding place. I'm gonna die! I don't know where this creature is. He's literally walking right past me. Was I nudged? I'm not sure if I'm safe or not. Did you just nudge me? Guess he's in that area. Kinda just want to jump up on the box and stay there. Oh my god. Run, 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 run. Run for your freaking life! Am I trapped? Okay. Yeah, you really I'll stay here for a while. I'll just go back here. I'll just stay here. This is probably really dangerous and I shouldn't be doing this, but oh well. I don't know where I'm going. Guess I should go that way. Maybe. Woo! We're alive. I don't know why I did that. Rotten wooden shelves must be added. That moisture from that gate. This whole room is petrifying. Wait, what? Yeah. Okay. Locked. It needs a key. Well, I have a key. So, how's that gonna... What do you mean, how's that gonna work? What kind of question is that? Christ, what am I thinking? Just for sure. Well, it needs a key, so that's what you were thinking. It made sense. Flare, okay. Key. Copenhagen Post, Monday, 17th August 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mind-altering chemicals naturally sewn into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at the Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first becoming interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's natural high suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high at 46 deaths per 1,000 populace. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rock. Few locals were conductive to interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Invid spirits, known as the Twin Gate, live in the mountains. The university is waiting for the results of chemical testing studies continue. Interesting. 15 August 1945. Command Bunker Emergency Air Strip Ship Zulu? I don't know. Weekly report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency chills carried out. Routine runaway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by... Haven't. 4,000 miles. Right. Or... Yeah. 2 of men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in the workshop. I don't know what that says. And succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this. And then I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom. And I'm sure that's where they learnt the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office, and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. The space is so disconnected sometimes I feel as if this war could end, and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets. 7 bayonets, not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing the damp ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C, in order for myself. My glasses are in rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going one ahead. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made, and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief. Okay. Backtrun. Okay. What? Don't know what that did? An old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know. This man before me is Howard. I call him father. Okay then. Like, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. Oh, let's do it again then. I may never get used to that. Okay. There's whisperings. I don't know what they said. And I should have the key now for this chest. I wasn't trying to do anything with them together. What's this? Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. Chapter 1.3, Black Match Fuse. The black match fuse is one of the oldest, simplest, and most reliable fuses used in modern pyrotechnics. It is easy to create, essentially consisting of just string and gunpowder. But be warned, the chemicals concerned will stain clothing, and as always, due concern is advised. Tools required: string, preferably cotton, black gunpowder, and Bactrin. I think it might be what the thing I just got. The string should be coated with a thin layer of Bactrin, which acts as an adhesive. The string is then carefully rolled in the gunpowder and left to dry at least a couple of minutes before use. Chapter 2.1, Dynamite. Invented by Howard Noble in 1866, dynamite is commonly used in construction, mining, and demolition. It has proved far safer to handle than alternatives such as pure nitroglycerin, provided, that is, it has been properly stored. Over time, the explosive component of dynamite, supposedly made safe by the presence of the diatomicous earth, has a tendency to weep, making an old box of the explosives liable to detonate on contact. 2 is required: 1 part of diatomicous earth, 3 parts nitroglycerin, a small amount of sodium carbonate, and then simply form into short sticks and wrap in paper. Chapter 2.3, trinitrotoluene, TNT. TNT was first discovered in 1863 by German chemist Joseph Brand, but it took some years before it yielded its true potential. This was because of the difficulty of making it explode and the lesser detonation in comparison to dynamite. The main advantage was discovered by the German Navy, who employed TNT relative explosive stability in order to cause massive damage to British warships. Their torpedoes could be detonated inside a ship's armor rather than exploding on contact as did other shells. And lastly, Chapter 2.6, Armstrong's Mixture. Armstrong's Mixture is included in this book as a more of a point of interest than as a viable chemical mix. The formula exists as somewhat of a legend in modern pyrotechnics, referred by those knowledgeable enough to stay away from it as death mix. Its incredible volatility make it unsuitable for almost all potential applications. Materials required: red, phosphorus, barium. This mixture can be carefully and slowly mixed to minimize risk to the chemist. Sulfur can substitute for some or all of the barium to slightly decrease sensitivity. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna leave this episode here before we get caught up in anything else. I hope you enjoyed. This is an interesting game. I'm not far enough into it to have an opinion, but so far I don't really know if I like it or not. It's just kind of interesting. But there's nothing really that intrigues me about it, that makes me want to keep playing. But I don't know if I'm going to make another video or if I'll play it on my own. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye!